What would you do if the person you swore to spend your life with was spending hours alone with another man? I never thought I would be asking myself that question, let alone living the answer. The night everything broke was a cold, unforgiving Tuesday in late November. I was working late as usual, the hum of my laptop the only sound in my downtown Chicago office. My phone buzzed, a notification from our home security system, front door unlocked. Odd. Sarah was supposed to be home, asleep. A quick check of the live feed showed nothing amiss, but a nagging unease settled in my gut. I zoomed in on the timestamp, 11:47 p.m. Then, a second notification, just minutes later. Front door locked. My heart hammered against my ribs. Who was leaving and re-entering our house at midnight? The chilling silence of the house, and the sudden, inexplicable dread that gripped me, made me feel like I was standing on the edge of a precipice. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel and tell us where you're from. The next morning, Sarah was her usual self, bright and cheerful, making coffee. Too cheerful, perhaps. I watched her, a stranger in my own home. The unease had solidified into a cold, hard suspicion. It wasn't long before strange behaviors started to surface. Her phone, once left carelessly on the counter, was now always clutched in her hand or face down. She started taking longer showers, humming tunes. Little things easily dismissed as quirks, but to my now hypervigilant mind, they were glaring red flags. The slow discovery began with a text message. I was helping her look for her keys one Saturday morning, and her phone, usually locked, was open on the kitchen island. A notification flashed across the screen. Can't wait for our walk tomorrow. Gorgeous. Mark. Mark, our dog walker. Gone, athletic guy, with a perpetually smug grin. My blood ran cold. I didn't confront her immediately. I couldn't. The shock was too profound. Instead, I started digging. I checked our joint credit card statements. A few suspicious charges. A fancy lunch at the Gilded Spoon in Lincoln Park. A boutique hotel stay in Dallas. The dates aligned with Mark's dog walking schedule. Sarah, meanwhile, became increasingly cold and manipulative. She'd pick fights over trivial matters, accuse me of being distant, and then retreat into a shell of self-pity. You don't understand me, John, she'd sigh, her eyes darting away. You're always working. The irony was a bitter taste in my mouth. She was building a narrative, a justification for her actions. She felt untouchable, shielded by her lies and my perceived ignorance. The arrogance in her demeanor was palpable. There were nights I'd sit in our living room, the city lights of Chicago twinkling outside, and feel an emptiness. I loved her, or at least, I loved the woman I thought she was. The pain was a physical ache. I cried, silently in the dark, feeling utterly broken. The loyal, trusting husband was shattered. But amidst the despair, a flicker of something else ignited. A cold, calculated resolve. I wouldn't just leave. I would make her pay. My revenge began subtly. I installed hidden cameras in the house. I hired a private investigator, a discreet woman named Elena, who specialized in infidelity cases. Her reports, delivered in plain brown envelopes, were clinical and damning. Photos of Sarah and Mark, hand in hand. Laughing, kissing, entering a discreet apartment building on North Michigan Avenue. Receipts for expensive gifts. I meticulously documented everything, building a fortress of evidence. I consulted with a divorce attorney, a sharp, no-nonsense woman named Ms. Davies, who laid out the legal landscape. Adultery in Illinois can impact alimony, especially with clear evidence of financial dissipation. The traps were set. I waited for the opportune moment. It came during our annual holiday party, a lavish affair we hosted at our home in Lakeview. The house was filled with friends, family, and colleagues. Sarah, radiant in a red dress, was playing the perfect hostess. Mark, the dog walker, was there too, invited by Sarah under the guise of helping with the coats. The air was thick with festive cheer, but for me, it was a countdown. At precisely 9 p.m. during my toast, I subtly activated the living room TV. Instead of a holiday slideshow, the screen flickered to life. Displaying a montage of the hidden camera footage, Sarah and Mark, their illicit encounters, their whispered conversations, their stolen kisses. The room fell silent. Gasps, whispers, then a horrified scream from Sarah. Mark, pale and trembling, tried to bolt, but my brother, a former Marine, subtly blocked his exit. The public exposure was brutal. Sarah's carefully constructed world imploded. The divorce proceedings were swift and merciless. Ms. Davies presented the evidence, a mountain of it, leaving Sarah no room to maneuver. The financial dissipation, the emotional distress, the blatant disregard for our marriage vows, it all painted a picture of a woman devoid of integrity. She lost everything: our home, her reputation, most of her assets, and the respect of everyone who knew her. Mark, facing a lawsuit, disappeared from Chicago, his smugness replaced by utter cowardice. I saw Sarah once more, months later, in a downtown Chicago coffee shop. She was alone, her eyes hollow, her once vibrant spirit extinguished. She looked at me, a flicker of something, regret, hatred, in her gaze, but said nothing. I simply nodded, a ghost of a smile playing on my lips. The revenge was complete. The silence that followed was deafening, a chilling testament to the destruction I had wrought. The quiet hum of the city outside my window was the only sound, a constant reminder of the cold, empty space where my heart used to be. In the end,